Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the Wednesday Cup here at AK Racing. We're just about at we're at round 3 tonight, coming from the lovely Sandown Raceway in Victoria. Got a fair few cars on the grid at the moment. We've got 13, so and still another 11 minutes till quali kicks off, so hopefully we get a fairly big grid out there tonight. Looking at the timing tower, it's pretty close at the top. Not even half a tenth between the top two at the moment. Righteous, Newing and Kennedy. Kennedy is, I don't think I've seen him on the grid before. Must be Ryan Kennedy. It's his first race with AK Racing, and looks like he's up on the pace already, which is good to see. Lockie Grant's in the server. It's got a nice looking livery on that 86 there. Let's have a little look at it. I'm not even going to try to pronounce what that says on the front, because I will no doubt mess it up. As he comes around the final turn, which is a very important turn on this track because it sets you up for the entire rest of the lap. You can actually ride on board with Lockie and see how he attacks this, this staple of Australian racing, Sandown. Getting on the brakes just after the 100 board by the looks. Just missing that big curb on the exit, on the entry up. Haven't done many laps around here, but I do know that you can ride the curves a little bit, as Lockie shows us just there. Another important turn here, setting yourself up for this this back straight. I believe there'll be a few overtakes tonight. If that, if not at least a 2 or 3 wide moment, I predict, coming up the hill here. 5th gear. Getting on the brakes, just doing his best to get the nose turned in. And you clatter across that curve and down through the gears. Pretty heavy stopping zone here. Using all the track and a little bit more. Coming up to this last chicane section, Sector 3. Using lots of curb again. Getting power down nicely. This will be. This looks to be a pretty good lap here from Lockie. It's a 1:29.6, so just about a tenth off his personal best. Good enough for 4th on the grid at the moment. And as I said, there's still a few to join the server, so we'll see what happens when they join. Oh, there's someone off the track there. Looks to be Newing, I think. Yeah, Newing's had a bit of a spin. We'll go for a little fly around the track here. Get a look at it from above. As we fly down the back straight, there's a lake in the middle there. Didn't know that. As you can see, the horse racing track there, Sandown. A few cars parked along the side here. It's quite a well-built mod, this one. It looks pretty nice from above. Oh, there we go. My free cam skills are not the best, so just bear with me. So they come down the hill to this stopping zone here. See if there's anyone. No one making their way around on track yet. We'll fly under this little ridge. through this awkward part of the track. It's really hard to get get the power down here. And you kind of want to stay off this curb, because you don't want your car to be too upset. You want that traction. Give you a good run down this front straight. We're right along with Mr. Righteous. There's a car just going into Narnia there. I don't know what happened to him. Reggie's now improved his best lap to a 29.0. Still just a bee's dick between him and Luke Newing. So we come into the closing stages of practice, free practice. We get an hour once the server goes up. And then after this we'll go straight into a 7-minute qualifying session. So you really got to be on your game there, because I mean 7 minutes around here at a minute and a half, that's, I'm not going to pretend to know maths, that's not many laps, we're going to say that. It's not many. So you want to be pushing from the word go and try and find a bit of track space, because we know if you get a bit of traffic like Reggie's coming across now, that can really put a dampener on any sort of forward progress in lap times. Unless they're kind enough to get out of the way, like that gentleman there. Still learning the liveries, so don't really know them off by heart yet. It's Dave O'Shan in front of him. Another newcomer to AK Racing. He was here last week. I think he only participated in the first race. Called it quits after race 1, but that's fair enough. People got things to do. Hopefully he sticks around tonight. Does the whole 3 races. .30.9 last time through. It's the apex nicely. It looks nice and settled. This car clatters over the curbs, keeps it together. This is a really nice smooth line he's taken here, is Davo. The boys will be all getting their or they might be coming up to getting their qualifying trim sorted out. Not that there's much to trim, to be fair. It is a fixed race, fixed setup race. So the only thing you can change are the tyre pressures and the fuel load. But who knows? You take some of the fuel out, and you might find a few tenths. So the boys will be just testing how the car reacts with a bit less weight in the fuel tank. So it can make a difference, depending on where the fuel tank is in the cars. It's more towards the back. You might find with a full tank, the rear is a little more planted for it being sort of artificial downforce. He's improved to a 29.9 as Dave O'Shan. This is the apex there a little bit. Got Nick Mello in the server. It's his first time in the Wednesday Cup, at least for this season, which is season 4, by the way. We've been at this for a little while now. It's good to see a good turnout finally, but as they say, if you build it, they will come. New man Ryan Kennedy has now thrown the gauntlet down to Reggie Righteous up the top, and he's half a tenth behind. Bit of a slide there on the exit. There's lots of camera angles available. I think that's the best one. 1 minute 20 left in practice now. It's your final chance to get your car, or get the feeling of the car. Learn the circuit if you have to. But I'm sure by now, if you are a warm-blooded Australian, you should know which way Sandown goes. If not, you can get out. Got Josh Hughes back. It's been a while since we've seen him in the Wednesday Cup. It's good to see him on track. He's driving the Batmobile in the V8 supercar. He had a pretty good showing out on Sunday night in the Super 2 field. There might have been a podium or two. G'day, Lars. It helps with ping, but it just depends. Depends what your internet connection is like. If I know if you're from pretty much anywhere else from Australia, or other than Australia, your internet service is much better than ours. So, yeah, absolutely welcome to join. I'll grab you a Discord link, and you can check out all the info there. There you go, mate. So yeah, as we said, we've got 3 races coming to you live tonight on our Twitch channel. A 12-minute race, a 15-minute reverse grid race, and followed up by a 17-minute reverse championship order. So that's a really interesting one, because that really levels the field out a bit. Anyone that's been been winning a few has to start at the back. It is a fun format, Lars. Gives everyone a chance. Cool Boy is always on pole when it comes to the reverse championship. No offense. But after practice 1, we've got, or free practice, the only practice, we've got Reggie Righteous on top. And he's found a lot of pace there at the end. He's ended the session on a 1:28.4. 4/10 behind is newcomer Ryan Kennedy. Nick Mello, 1:29.0, followed by Luke Newing and Lachlan Grant in the top 5. Dave O'Shan, a new driver as well, doing really well in the top 6 there. Cooper Shipley, that must have come into the server late, but oh no, he's done 22 laps. My bad. 1:29.8. Matt Belton, Josh Hughes, Oliver Longley, Timmy Smith in his first outing as well. He tried to get into the server last week, but there was a bit of an issue. Flub, it is GUID locked, but if you fill out the sign-up sheet found up the top of the Discord, you should be able to join for the race if you get in time. If not, you'll be able to join for the second race. Blake Green-Keane, Angus Wells and Guy Duff. Joe Gillespie is not in the server, nor is Lachlan Cable. Okay, so that's the end of practice. We'll be back in just a short couple of minutes with race 1. And we're back for qualifying. Reggie Righteous is the first one out of the blocks. He's just finishing his outlap now. And we might ride on the top of the car and see how he attacks this lap. He's coming down the front straight now, trying to get as much speed as possible. He's got a few cars coming out of the pits now in front of him. This could, they've done the right thing and jumped out of the way. He's going to want to hope they get on the anchors soon. Gets it turned in. Oh, there's been contact there from the 532. That's Guy Duff. That's some clumsy stuff from the Duff man there. You've probably got to give way to cars on their hot lap when you're coming out of the pits, but that's ruined Reggie's lap, sorry. So we're going to ride along with Matt Belton now and see how he attacks this Sandown track. Gets it through turn 1, nice. Coming up to turn 2, clattering over the curbs in turn 3. Going to take a wide line and try and get the power down and a bit of a late apex into turn 4. So shoot it up the hill now. Seems like forever in these low-powered cars, some of these straights. Got time to check your mirrors, check your deltas, adjust your harnesses, and get ready for the big braking and roller coaster section down up here at I guess it's turn 5. Gets it turned in nicely. There's a couple of cars off track in front of him. This is going to be interesting. It's Guy Duff again. We're going to see if he can get that car out of the way safely. He does. Well done, Guy. Matt Belton comes down now to 5, 6, 7, turn 7, turn 8. Runs it wide, gets a bit of momentum off the curb. This looks like a very tidy lap from Matt Belton. Crosses the line for a 1:30.92 as Angus Wells goes second with a 1:35.5. Dave O'Shan, they're all coming in now. It's my terrible free cam skills. Who else is now on a hot lap? Josh Hughes coming in too. Let's see if I can identify this. This must be turn 1. Alright, he's found a bit of traffic in front. Looks like Oliver Longley in front of him. He's given Ollie the hurry up here. He says, come on, mate. But as per rules, if they're both on a hot lap, then it's too bad for Hughesy. He's just going to have to sit behind. Grant goes second. Mello to the top with a 29.9. Grant just behind him, 3,000ths the difference. That's officially a flea's dick, as Reggie goes to the top and by about 6/10. Cars off the road down here, that is the 33 of Dave O'Shan. Kennedy to the top with a 28.9. Our new driver in the server is doing a great job. See how he attacks this circuit. Fair bit of slip angle. He had that thing sideways on the entry there. I feel like that's probably the fastest way to drive these things. Really be aggressive. As they say with slow cars, you got to drive them fast. With fast cars, you got to drive them slow. It's the best way to extract lap times. All signed up, Lars. Well done. We'll hopefully see you next week on the grid, mate. Get a bit of practice. I'll see what track we're doing next week. I've got a feeling it's. I'm gonna have a guess and say it's Red Bull Ring. It is the South Circuit. Although if you feel confident, you might be able to jump straight in the server after this session. Should have you in the server ready to go. But Ryan Kennedy now coming around the final turn. He's got 2 purple sectors in sector 1 and 2. He's only got a 10th to make up to get to pole, and he does that with a 28.6. That's a very handy lap. I'm going to check in on Tim Smith now, who's also a newcomer to AK Racing, and an all-round nice bloke. Had a chat to him in the voice chat, so if you see him in there, get around him. He's a bit of a legend. As he comes down through the, what are we going to call this section? The downhill. The downhill section, gets it turned in nicely here. He's on a bit of a cool down lap perhaps. 31.3 being his best. Clatters over the curbs, gets it turned in nicely. Wants the power down. He's going to fang it up to the line. Let's see what he can pull out here. It might be a high 30, which is a 30.8, which puts him in 7th. Excuse me. That's a good effort. Is there anyone else still out on track? Kennedy might have got around for one last lap. Reggie's finishing off one here, so can he improve on his 28.9? He does, but it's not enough. Our man on pole is Ryan Kennedy. Not bad for first outing. He's coming here and he's certainly set the gauntlet to some of the regulars around here. I feel like that happened last week as well. But yeah, 1:28.603. That's a great lap time from Ryan Kennedy. And that, my friends, is qualifying. So, we'll go through the list. We got Kennedy, Righteous, Mello, Lachlan Grant, Newing, Shan, Shipley, Hughes, Smith, Belton, Ollie Longley in 11th, Guy Duff, Angus Wells, Blake Green Keane. Round out your top 14. And that is all that there is for qualifying right now. I'm running out of words already. But we'll be back in a very short time for race 1. And we're back for race 1. We've got 30 seconds to go. We've got a couple of latecomers on the track, so we've got quite a big big grid for this first one. Find a good angle, that'll do. As the lights come on. There's lights out and we're racing. It's a good start from the front row. Second row is good. Whoever's in the 5th spot there is Lachlan Grant. He's got a great start. He's going to try and shove it up the inside of the car in front. But here is Kennedy leads with Righteous and Mello and Sean up to 4th. Lockie Grant slots in behind him with Luke Newing, Hughes, Shipley, Belton, Duff, Longley, Smith. And there's bit of swapping for positions down the field. But we'll get a good look at them coming up the hill here. Everyone's racing cleanly here. There's been no one turned around. Everyone's slotting in single file as well, which makes it easy. As Luke Newing looks like he's having a go up the inside of Lockie Grant. It's going to be a hard place to do it up here at the top of the hill. Can he get it turned in? He can. They're going to come down the downhill section side by side, both using all the road. Lockie Grant sticks it around the outside and makes that move. Well, redundant really. Luke Newing's going to have to rethink that and have another go up the side, as there's another battle for the lead with Righteous up the inside of Kennedy, but Kennedy having the momentum in the outside line, but he's Righteous has now left himself open to Mello, who's having a great race now. He's up to 2nd, but he's on the wrong side of the track, but he does have the momentum. He might... Oh my god, I've done it again. Yeah, I'm a shocker. Luckily no one was hurt there in with my car on the grid. Look, you're just going to have to get used to it if you're racing the Wednesday Cup or have me commentating in any fashion. You're just going to have to realise that there will be a car on the grid as you come around the first lap. Smith falling down the order. He's, I think that's just AC things. Kennedy leads from Reggie Righteous and Mello, and they've built a nice little gap to Dave O'Shan in 4th place. Lockie Grant, Newing, Shipley, and then there's another gap back to Hughes and Longley. And there's a bit of chaos happening back here as there's a bit of angry battle pack happening in the back here as Daniel Cicluna is cutting his way through the field. I think he started at the back, missed qualifying, as did Delaney. So we'll keep an eye on those two guys. We know they're quick and they will feature in this race at some point. But these guys up front are having a nice little battle. We've got Kennedy's just made that gap out to about half a second. Mello tucking in behind the slipstream of Righteous. He's going to have that suck coming up the main straight. You're going to just watch to see if he makes the move into turn 1. I don't think he's quite close enough. He's just going to show the nose and make Reggie think about it and say, yeah, listen mate, I'm still here. If you want to look in your mirrors and concentrate on me, that's great. Try and force that mistake and get through to the 2nd place, which he has his eyes on completely. There's some side-by-side action going on back here, at least I thought there was. Lockie Grant still behind Shipley. As Rankine's humbling down the orders, I think he's binned it. But now he finds his way to the back. Going up the hill now, Mello still sitting in the slipstream of Righteous. He's been there for a couple of laps now, and I don't know if he's getting... if he is getting frustrated or not, but he might be wise just to hang back and maybe let Righteous have a... Oh, he's spun it! Righteous is around, and so is Kennedy's off the track, and that just gives Mello an absolute golden ticket through to the lead, and he's going to take that with both hands and say thank you boys, thank you for that. He's still not over though. Kennedy's proven he has pace. He's the pole sitter from qualifying. Both of these guys in the same car, so it makes it a bit of a tough call. But here we go. Mello leads. Kennedy right up his bracket, going down the main straight. He's just got a bit of a toe, so he just want to sit there for now. They've dropped Reggie, who made a mistake in that 3rd sector. Going back further, there is a little battle pack here between Sean Ewing and Cooper Shipley. Shan going off the track, and Ewing's going to have a little look around the outside. It's probably not the best place to go through there. There's not much he can do. Looking for the switchback, gives him a little bump and says, hurry up, mate. And this brings Lockie Grant right back into this battle as well. As these four are going at it, hammer and tong. This is exciting stuff. Good to watch, boys. And here's this Shipley going on the grass up on the side, Ewing. Taking a leaf out of Fernando Alonso's book. Doing a bit of passing on the grass. Pushing and shoving too. A little bit of bumping and rumping between Ewing and Shipley. Ewing's going to have the inside, just pokes his nose up in there first. Comes off the curb, but oh, that's a big accident. That is, oh, Lockie Grant into the wall. Oh my goodness, are they playing Skittles now? Well, that's a shame. These boys were racing hard, and I guess that's what happens sometimes. Bit of bumping and shoving, and the cars got off balance, and once you hit that grass, you're a passenger. So that's a golden bin. Just saw your comment, Gooseus. Broadcast car on track, mate. Yep, that's my go-to thing. I'm gonna have to trademark it. Luckily, it's not in too bad of a spot here on this track. It's sort of not in the way. Well, it is, yeah. I'm going to bring it in. It's absolute tradition. Any new drivers to the grid will know this. 16 cars on grid now. We're going to find James Delaney. He's made his way up to 8th. And Cicluna just behind him. So these boys have been cutting through the field nicely. And they're just starting to come up behind Tim Smith and Ollie Longley, who are having their own little battle on track. Ollie doing a good job in defence by the looks of it. So he's got a little train forming. Tim Smith, he's found his way into the server this week. It's good news. I've seen him in the practice server. He's been doing a bit of practice. See, now that's the way to go too wide around that turn. Not like the boys in the last time we went around. Oh, Cicluna gives Delaney a bit of a bump, bit of a touch. Let's play on. Cicluna's now on the outside of this next turn. Delaney going to have to go defensive, and they're going door to door. Delaney goes right across the track, and who's that off the road there? That's Josh Hughes, and he's dropping back through the order now. And this battle pack has become 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6 cars. Anything can happen now. It's all happening here It's all happening here at the MCG. Is there a change for the lead as Mello has binned it? No, Mello's gone. He had the lead, and he's handed it to Mello. Handed it to Kennedy, and he's got a 3-second gap to Righteous. So that might be shut the book there for Ryan Kennedy, barring any sort of disaster for him. Smith now dropping through the order. He's looks like he's been absolutely railroaded coming out of turn 4, as all of these cars in front of him just lined up on the outside and just took him for breakfast on the way up the hill. Mustn't have got good drive down, but Ollie Longley still doing a good job in defence, but looks like Cicluna is going to make this move and make it easily. Delaney now lining up behind Ollie, looks up to the inside, goes around the outside. Ollie goes defensive, pushes him up onto the curb, and it's play on. But behind Delaney is Matt Belton, who is also very much in this fight. Oh my God, there's so much happening. I don't know where to look. It gives Ollie a bit of a shove going into the final turn. And there's the charge of the Light Brigade now with Luke Ewing getting up beside Tim Smith as well. And they're going to go too wide up the straight. Ewing wants to sit in, tuck in, and get some of that slipstream. It looks like Belton has pulled out of the slipstream, and he's going to have a big lunge at Delaney. Delaney gives him space, but he's just lost the rear end. And Belton will go up through, but Delaney it's not over yet, as Delaney He's going to have the inside for the next little chicaney bit, but he's just pulled out of it, and wisely so, I think. And that looks like Tim Smith has just found the front end or the rear end of Hughes' car, and that will be that'll be Smith dropping back through the field with an unfortunate spin. But Longley now still holding these guys at bay. Belton, Delaney now with a very good run on Matt Belton. He's probably going to want to try and return the favour, so to speak. This could be the second last lap of the race, so any progress here is good progress. Belton gets a very nice run through there. He's going to have a pretty good look at Longley now as Longley overshoots the corner, and there's a bit of an overlap, and he's been turned, and Delaney's been the worst off out of that. That's unfortunate because he was coming up through the pack and he was looking pretty racy indeed. Mello now with 1 lap to go is up behind Reggie Righteous, 3/10 now for the second spot on the podium. As Kennedy is absolutely checked out, and that's a 5-second gap, so that's all she wrote there. But with these two, the battle is definitely still on. Mello gets a nice run out of that turn 4, so he's going to have a great run up the hill here, and I suspect a move is coming at the top of the hill. So we're going to ride on board with Mello here. Just see what... look, Reggie's already covering off the inside. He knows that at these top speeds at the top of this hill, if you're on the inside, you've got a much better chance of holding on to that position. He's had a big slide, but that'll just about do it. He's going to have to go defensive into this low-speed corner. Mello doing everything he can to try and just hang on to the back and maybe put a move on. It's probably not going to happen now. He's just got 2 corners to get it done, but he does. He's actually got the run here, and he's poked it up the inside. What can he do? Can he put it on the curb? Too much curb. These little cars just can't take it, and that'll be Reggie Righteous coming. Well, it'll be Kennedy coming across the line for the win. Great win, great pole. Reggie Righteous coming in for second. Mello for third, and Dave O'Shan, with only his second race here with AK Racing, gets 4th place. Bloody good effort there from Davo. Daniel Cicluna has carved his way through 11 places to get up to the top 5. Fantastic racing as usual. We expect nothing less from Mr. Cicluna. And here, this angry battle pack. Oh wait, hang on, we've got 1 more lap to go. It's not over, boys. That's the sound of me just slapping myself in the face. I actually run this league. I don't even know when these races are going to finish. Anyway, Mello is still on the back of Righteous. He's got half a lap to go to get this move done. He's only 2/10 off second place. Going to stick on here and see if he can make that move into the bottom of the hill. Very hard to do. It's not the widest of tracks in the world. So only one optimum line going through there. And that's probably enough of a gap. But Kennedy's driven so well, we're going to give him praise twice. Here he is, the man crossing the line for the win in race 1. Now that is actually the win, isn't it? Reggie Righteous and Mello. Actually, Mello's got him on the line. Mello's got him on the line. That is an absolute brilliant, a brilliant finish there from those guys. They're going to have to see the official results to see what the actual gap is. I think that's an official flea's penis there. Dave O'Shan crossing the line in 4th. Brilliant race from him. Cicluna 5th. And here's this massive battle pack. Longley's just been defending this whole race. I feel like he deserves 6th place. Delaney in 7th. Hughes, after a bit of a spin in the early parts of this race, he's come back to 8th. The Duffman in 9th. Shipley 10th. Timmy Smith, after also getting turned in that angry battle pack, comes away in 11th. Matt Belton pulling off to the side in 12th. Luke Newing had a bit of bad luck as well. Him, Grant, and I forget who else it was in that massive accident at the back. I think they were probably finishing the race with a fair bit of damage. Angus Wells crossed the line in 15th. And Blake Rankine is in the pits 4 laps behind. Great racing there we saw from everyone, and we're going to come back to you in just a few short moments with race 2. Don't go anywhere. And we are back for race 2. It's a reverse grid now. So we've got Rankine and Wells, Grant and Ewing off the front row. We've got lights off and we're racing. It's a great start from Blake Rankine. And we've got Wells is dropping back through the field. Ewing's got a great start. But at the moment it's our man, Blake Rankine, off on his own. Let's check in. We've got a bit of kerfuffle happening behind as we watch them all funnel through. There's cars around at the back. See who that is. That's Smith, Longley, and Cicluna hasn't had the best start. As we chime in back to the front, and I'm going to take this opportunity, guys, to get my car off the track. Hey! Well done. As Rankine leads, this he's led half a lap. This could be the most he's ever led a race. Give the guy a hand. Matt Belton up into second on the inside of Grant, getting to the top of the hill. And they're going to play nice this time. Grant doesn't want to end up in the wall again. Guy Duff into fourth. Dave O'Shan's had a great start and he's up into fifth. Mello as well. Oh, looks like Delaney got a bit wide and has given Ewing a good old tap. I think Delaney might have to try and redress that, but he's all the way down the road now, so that's going to be a hard one to do. And there goes Rankine. He's just given it too much, and that's given Belton a clear run at the lead. Lockie Grant just sitting in the slipstream. It's a bit further back. We've got Dave O'Shan and Duff going side by side. Dave O'Shan getting up the inside of Duff, and it should. Duff's going to go for the double fake here, but just a bit too far back. Whoa, he's gone in deep. And Dave O'Shan's made a move. Whoa. On who was it? It was Rankine. Shan up to fourth. Delaney up to sixth. Duff down to seventh. And Matt Belton has binned it on the other side of turn 4. I can't even see him there, but that looks like it might be the end of his night. Delaney now on the back of Blake Rankine. Look at all these cars. We've got 19 cars on track. This is incredible. As the boys are going side by side down the hill, that looks like it's either Mello and Duff and Kennedy. Kennedy has started at the very back and he's now up to 6th. And Mello now battling for the lead here with Lockie Grant. He's going to go for the switch back into the final turn and get that move done. That's smooth stuff from our man Nick Mello. Grant's going to have to concede it. Further back in the field is Kennedy going up the inside of Rankine as well. So he's up into the top 5 already. Did not take long at all. As all the cars stream down the main straight. We're going to get a look. Geez, Rankine just getting a little too close for comfort there. There's cars going off in the background here. Wells is off the track. So Cluna's gone for a bit of excursion through the kitty litter. Jumps the curb. Gets back on track. Everything is fine for him. There must be a fair bit of pushing and shoving going on tonight. There's plenty of cars going off the track. Let's check in with our race 1 winner. It's Ryan Kennedy. He's made his way up behind James Delaney now, and he may have had it easy up until this point, cutting through the field, but I think now he's got to the pointy end, and Delaney, being a very good defensive driver, is not going to have it all his own way. Here is Kennedy. Well, although there's not much Delaney can do, Kennedy he's got pace to burn. With Dave O'Shan probably just slipping into the slipstream here. He's got nowhere to go though. He's going to make it 3 wide going up the main straight. No, he's going to just slip in behind James Delaney. These two... Oh, he's going to try and poke it up the inside. Make it 3 wide, boys. Let's see if we can go into T1 and come out the other side unscathed. He's done. Oh, he's given Kennedy a bit of a punt. It's actually propelled him through the corner nicely, and it's opened up a bit of a gap to the boys. That's a bit of teamwork there from Davo. Maybe they know each other in real life. Who knows? It's been a change of positions down here with Hughes going around the outside of Duffman. Duffman trying to send it down the inside. Not quite going to work this time. As we've got our new driver, Mark Homge. You say Mark Homge? He's joined us for race 2. So I think he was starting at the back as well, which is no tall order. Well, it is a tall order, sorry, when there's 19 cars on track. So all the best, and good to see Mark in the server.
coming and giving the Toyota 86s a go. They're a fun little car. They seem to make for good racing. Blake Rankine off the track right now, and yeah, very good. Well done, Blake. Just saw that there was cars coming and didn't cause an accident, so that's good. Reggie is in the pits. I think that might be his race over. I don't know what happened to him. We missed all that, but he'll be disappointed as he was certainly one of the front runners of race 1. We've got Homge coming up to the back of Rankine, so he's gonna maybe try to sell him the dummy here. He's going to go up the racing line. I've got a feeling he might duck to the inside and have a little send on our mate. Right along with Mark. Oh, he's just gone a bit wide. He sort of followed Rankine there, and Gillespie, who I didn't realise was in the server as well. Joe, our man, Mr. Consistency. You won't see him often off the track, but there was a unicorn moment there, which we did catch that. I'll send him an email. But up in front, we've got Homge going up the inside, and that should be enough to get the move done on. Or is it? No, it's Rankine going up the inside of Homge, so that should be enough to get that move done coming into turn 5. Bit of lag from the guys, so I don't know how stable the internet situation is. Oh, and Homge, Blake's actually he's done a big slide, and he's actually it's turned into a bit of defense, and that's worked nicely. Anyway, we're going to check in on our Minister of Defence from the first race, is Ollie Longley. He's coming up behind Tim Smith. Seems the race has started to level out a bit. Everyone's got into their rhythm. Not sure if Ollie did a 37.8 on that last lap. Tim Smith, and there's a car going slowly. That's Luke New. No, that's Guy Duff. No, it was New, wasn't it? Maybe not. Why is it playing tricks on me? There we go. So Duff's up behind Tim Smith now. He's only got 3/10 to cover. But there seems to be a move happening here with Lachlan Grant, putting Dave O'Shan under a fair bit of pressure now. He's had that gap. This is probably the biggest this gap's been for the last couple of laps. Got down to under 1/10 there for a little section of that second sector. It looks like Davo's got a good exit out of this final corner, but so has Grant. So this position's anyone's at this stage. He's going to just slot in behind, get a bit of the suck, and hopefully. No, see, look at that. So Davo's got an absolute gun of an exit out of that final turn. Excuse me. Keep an eye on that battle as it progresses. But Nick Mello now has stretched out a 5-second lead to Ryan Kennedy. James Delaney's up to 3rd. I think he's got a good sort of wrap on these cars now. Starting to find a bit of pace. Dave O'Shan running a great race again in 4th. Just got to be careful because you got our man Lockie Grant right up the bracket, so he's jumped out of the toe now, coming up the hill. Not the wisest idea into turn 5, but he's Tokyo drifting around that fast turn at the top of the circuit, clattering over the curbs down to the bottom of the hill here. I think we're going to call that turn 6, 7. I don't know. Braking zones. It's hard to tell. But Lockie all over the back of Davo now. He's certainly got Davo looking in his mirrors. But he's only got 4 minutes. 4.2 minutes as Ryan Kennedy sets the fastest lap of the race at 28.6. So he's certainly trying to make some headway on Nick Mello. So
He's got a lot of ground to cover in 4 minutes, but if anyone can do it, it's our race 1 winner and pole sitter. So Grant pulling out of the slipstream now. He's gone for a big send, and he's got under brakes, absolute limit of braking there, and that's a beautiful turn, beautiful overtake from Lockie Grant. He's come from miles back there. Anyone would have thought, no, he's going to overshoot the corner with the amount of speed that he had bringing it in, but my word, he's done that well. And he's already putting a bit of a gap on our man Dave O'Shan. So Davo's got a bit of a gap behind him, so he can consolidate and look for that top 5 finish in case, you know, anything happens up ahead. And if I know Wednesday Cup, anything can happen. I wouldn't put it past my car just somehow warping back onto the grid and making for exciting viewing, but we'll see what happens. Back here we've got a little battle forming. We've got Tim Smith coming up on the back of Luke Newing. The number 386 is as smooth as you like it. He's a really smooth driver so far, Tim, from what I've seen. Just doesn't want to take too long to get up to the back of him with 2 minutes going. 2 minutes left in this race. Being a reverse grid, there was a fair bit of chaos at the start, so we've had 2 DNFs already. Poor old Reggie and Angus Wells is out. Looks like Rankine's out as well. So 3 DNFs. But that's standard. As we've got Hughes now pulling out of the slipstream on Duffman. He's going to shoot it up the inside, but Duff really good on the brakes. Both doing a bit of a Tokyo drift and a little bit of contact. I'm going to say play on. Ollie Longley says, I'm going to have a few of those scraps, boys, thank you. And he takes that Subaru looking Toyota. I guess it's a BRZ, isn't it? She's got the lonely BRZ in the field, and he's just taken that position off Guy Duff. It's Tim Smith now. He's still looking in his rearview mirror. You can see this little angry battle pack coming up behind him. There's not much time to go, but Duff's going to make the most of it. He sort of pulls out of the slipstream, but I think the headwind sort of hit him there, and that stopped his momentum. But Ollie's getting a little bit loose down the hill. Can he get it stopped? Oh, I'll tell you what, guys overshot it. Was lucky not to centre punch the back of that Subaru BRZ, but that's opened up the gap, and that's taken the pressure off of Ollie now. Righteous is back in the server. It's good to see. He might finish this race off, try and get some points. It's always a good thing to do. We don't encourage rage quitting around here. So you never know, your adversary might have the same sort of bad luck happen to him in the next race. So you always got to stay in it to win it. As Hughes makes another lunge down the inside of Smith. Great under brakes, but it's not over yet. Smith's going to try and have a look at maybe a little bit of a switchback here. He does the double switchback, but that second corner comes up very fast. There's not enough time to get that move done. And now he's just going to focus on getting that good exit. Maybe jump in the slipstream and make the most of this run up the hill. Hughes has got a fair bit of pace though. He's got that gap out to just about 3.5 tenths. It's not going to be enough to have a lunge. We've got our final lap now, so we'll come back to Mello soon. We've still got this battle here. Tim Smith's got a great run down the hill. He's going to have a look up the inside, and he's going to make it stick. He's got to get the power down hard, but Hughes is fighting him on the outside. He's going to have the inside line for the next part of the track. That's a great little battle here from these guys with 1 and a bit laps to go. And with all this battling, he's brought Longley in, and the Subaru has done Subaru things and has taken the car of Tim Smith out of the positions for the top 10. That's a real shame for Smithy. He's found a bit of trouble last race as well. Longley just got a little bit too ambitious there, saw the red mist descending. Saw the gap opening up and probably quickly realised after he got on the brakes that the limit of braking doesn't support that kind of thing. But here comes Cicluna up on the back of Dave O'Shan on this final lap. He's got a great run. He's looks like he's going to get this job done easily. There's not much you can really do from out in the boonies at the top of turn 5. Unless you get a great run down the hill, you can sort of shoot it up the inside like we saw Smith do in that previous lap. Cicluna took it a bit wide, but I think that's the end for that battle as Nick Mello crosses the line. It's a podium in race 1 and a win in race 2. Ryan Kennedy crosses the line second. James Delaney, what a great run from him. He's come from the back there to get third. Lockie Grant avoided having the biggest crash I've ever seen this time. He comes home in 4th. Cicluna just pipped Shan to the line there by a 10th. Great racing from these guys. Cooper Shipley had a bit of a lonely race. I don't remember calling his name out, but a nice little slide over the line. Luke Newing had more bad luck this race. Josh Hughes, a couple of good overtakes there from him. Matt Belton comes across the line in 10th. Guy Duff, Timmy Smith unfortunately got turned around again, but his luck will it'll come soon. Ollie Longley in the Subaru pulls up behind him. Daniel Walsh made it into the server. I didn't see him in there. Maybe he's joined recently. Maybe he had a lonely race. Mark Holmes made a couple of nice overtakes there on the way for his first outing with ACO Racing. Joe Gillespie was a DNF in the end. Mr. Consistent must have finally met his match. Rankine, Righteous and Wells are all DNFs as well. And that concludes race 2. So we'll be back with race 3 very shortly. I'm going to bring up the standings here in between these couple of last races here. So this was as of last week. This doesn't take into consideration the two races we've just had. We've got Denzel Taylor at the top. Tom Wilson, and both of these guys haven't turned up tonight, so they'll be on the behind the 8 ball for the rest of the season. Luke Newing, Lockie Grant, Lachlan Capel, another one hasn't come back tonight. Cooper Shipley, Reggie Righteous, Matt Belton, Guy Duff, Angus Wells, Blake Rankine, Ollie Longley, Dave O'Shan, and Tim Smith, who unfortunately had a few server issues and couldn't get in last week. Takeaway NW is the GT86 a mod. It is a mod, and it's available through our Discord. Once you sign up to the series, you'll be able to grab that mod and do a bit of practice, and hopefully see you on the grid next week. Let's see. The server's still coming up, so we'll be back in just a couple of moments. And we are back with the final race of the night, which will be a reverse championship order race. This is one of the ones that really brings the action, as you've got the consistently fast guys at the back, and well, usually maybe some new guys at the front. So I'm going to try and get a nice little angle here so we can watch them all go through this first little section. Yeah, that looks pretty good. My my free cam skills are obviously lacking, but nothing like a bit of practice. If I can zoom in. Not really. Alright, we've got 6 lights on. Lights out and away we go. It's Gillespie off the front row with Walsh and Smith and Hughes behind him. It looks like a good start from everyone. There's a couple of moves being made in the middle of the pack. No one going up the inside yet. It looks like Tim Smith having a little look on the outside of Dave O'Shan. But they all get through cleanly. There's a bit of a battle up in the back half there. It looks like Guy Duff and Ollie Longley. We're going to join back to the action here as, it looks like Walsh has hit the wall, and that's going to put there's a bit of a plug in the bottle there, and everyone's tried to avoid it. At the back is Newing and Wells have found the fence. That's horrible luck for Luke Newing. He's absolutely had a shit of a night. And that's just the way it goes sometimes. Bit of a swap for positions here between Shannon Smith. Smith right on the back of Dave O'Shan. Looks like Daniel Walsh has recovered. There's a bit of a punt there, a bit of a three-way punt. Hughes given him the hurry up, which in turn gives Smith the hurry up. But they're both going to go. Well, there's a lot of pushing and shoving here, and there's 3 sets of 2 wide behind. Oh my God, it's all happening. We're going to have a look. We've got Mello and Kennedy and Delaney all together here. Where to look, who knows. We'll just focus on this little battle pack here, headed by, I think it's Hughes, Smith. We've got Walsh at the front, Hughes behind him. My car has just been killed. Yeah, thanks Goose, I've listened to you there. Someone's hit my car, and I'm very sorry for whoever that was. Yeah. Oh man. That's what you get for a bit of Wednesday Cup action. I'm so sorry whoever did that. I just felt my wheel going spastic in front of me. I assume it was let's have a look who's dropped down the order. Must have been Mello. Sorry Mel. Anyway, let's join the lead. We've got Cicluna. Has cut his way through the pack. Yeah, it is unfortunate, Goose. They're still battling hell for leather up here behind Walsh. We've got Delaney, Righteous, Smith being passed up the inside by Kennedy, who's having a fantastic run as well. Looks like Hughes. No, Smith's off the track. Hughes is around. Grant has hit the wall. It's all happening. To answer your question, takeaway NW, awesome. How do I access the test server when I follow the sign up link? It says 404 not found. At this point, it is down. So usually the practice server is not running whilst the races are on, but it will be up shortly after the commencement. That's a big word for me. It'll be up after this race is finished. Let's go with that. So it'll be up with the new track. Yeah, not too long after the end of this session. Because we've still got a big angry pack following behind Daniel Walsh. Reggie Righteous is back in the server. He's looking racy with Delaney behind him. Pulls out of the slipstream early. He's trying to get the run on the inside, and that's a wise idea. Does not give Daniel time to cover that inside position. And behind him is Ryan Kennedy. He's going to try and slot in behind
Reggie going through this long, fast left-hander coming down the hill, and they all get it pulled up. They do. They all compress. Kennedy's just got great drive out of these turns. He's already up alongside Walshy. Walshy's not going to give it up easy without a fight. I think he's just going to... Yeah, he's sent it around. He's given him room. There's enough racing room there, but there should be enough momentum on the outside. And Delaney giving him a bit of a bump draft. So a lot of help there given. So that's actually giving him a nice little overlap. That's probably enough for Kennedy to get the job done. Is Delaney thinking about the hero move up the inside? Possibly. Good racing room, good respect given by all three of these drivers now, as the fourth driver joins the party, which is Josh Hughes. So Walsh has got back in front. Kennedy is a great driver from these guys. Excuse me. As Walsh hits the wall on the outside, and that's the end of that. Kennedy is away, Delaney and Hughes will slot in behind him. Walsh is going to be vulnerable to Mello as well, who's on his comeback after hitting the safety car. Matt Belton, Ollie Longley, Lockie Grant in recovery mode after I think he might have hit the fence at the bottom of the hill. Cooper Shipley and Smith has got Newing all up the back of him. There's a lot of recovery drives happening at the back here. There's just not quite enough room given there from the that red car. Who was that, number 3 of Tim Smith? He was there up the inside and just kind of cut in front, but that's the end of Tim Smith's race. He's going to be DNF after that. Gillespie still hanging on to second spot. He's doing a great job up here. He's Mr. Consistent. You will not find a more consistent driver in the world. Just ask him, he'll tell you. Dave O'Shan looking to hang on to the back of Reggie Righteous. There's been some positional changes down here. We've got Mello going up the inside of Delaney. Excuse me. I've got coughs tonight. So Mello's made his way through that battle pack pretty quickly, and now he's got a couple of seconds to make up to his old sparring partner from the previous races, Ryan Kennedy. Delaney just going to try and get the suck and stay along with him then. Walsh looks like he might have hit the wall again, because he was right up behind the boys there. Closest battle on track now is Cooper Shipley. He's coming up behind Matt Belton. Both of these guys compete in our V8 Supercars Super 2 series. Both becoming good regulars around the community in Discord, so we're happy to have them. Good place to come and race is AK Racing. We've got V8 Supercars every Sunday night, with the main grid and Super 2 alternating between each Sunday. Looks like Shipley's got the good run here, and he will have the inside line for turn 1. Who's got enough pace at the end of the straight? They're both neck and neck. There is a significant overlap, and whoever can spot their braking marker should get this move done. Shipley gets it turned in, gets a little whack from Belton on the way through, but it's play on, no harm, no foul. It's a big slide on the entry, this Cooper. Might have slowed him down a little bit, but as Belton goes across the inside curb there, and that's going to halt his progress for now. In the background we've got Newing and Duff bringing up the rear of this field. So we'll check in on our leader here is Daniel Cicluna. He's got a 9-second gap to Joe, who's now starting to come under a bit of pressure from Reginald Righteous. Only 6/10 the gap. And there's a few more cars coming, so once these guys start battling, we're going to have Kennedy, Shan, Mello,
possibly Delaney as well join this fight. So the podium is wide open at the moment. So things are going to spice up definitely in the next 7 minutes, 7.5 minutes. Keeping the gap at, I was going to say keeping the gap at half a second, but Reggie's just had an absolute blinder through turn 1. And he's going to set himself up for a little double switchback perhaps. Or just slot in and get the good exit out of turn 4 and get it done up the hill. It's probably the best way to do it, most efficiently. He's definitely in the suck now. He's under 2/10 to Joe. As Reggie pulls out of the slipstream, Joe's not going to fight it. He's just going to keep his eyes forward and probably look to try and hold on to 3rd spot. He would have been watching Reggie come up on his relative, and he knows what sort of pace he's got. I'll tell you what, that's not going to stop him from having another little go. Perhaps sending it around the outside. Oh, there's a little bump on the way in. Daniel Cicluna's setting the fastest lap of the race at 28.1. That is quick. But Joe's now got a great exit, and this battle certainly isn't over. And there will be a 3rd car joining this battle soon, so we're going to ride on board and get his view of what is happening in front of him. Excuse me. Gillespie and Righteous side by side through turn 1. Gillespie has looped it, and that's hampered Kennedy's run through turn 1. So we've got Shan and Mello now. Mello getting the sort of undercut switch back. There's a little bit of hip and shoulder on the way through, but I think that's fair. They were both going from same part of the track. No foul play on. So we've got Mello now is only a second behind Kennedy on track. 1st and 2nd, I think, have pretty much checked out. You've got a 13-second gap to the leader. I'd say it's all over bar the shouting for Mr. Cicluna. But the next closest battle on track is James Delaney, who's now come up behind Joe Gillespie. And it looks like Joe's just sort of waved the white flag there. I don't know if he meant to go so wide out of that turn, but perhaps just a little bit later on the brakes than he's used to. He just had the inside line for this last section, and should just be able to clamber over these curbs, get the front nose turned in, get your foot on the right loud pedal, and head off on your merry way down the straight. But I'll tell you what, Delaney is right up his clacker. He's not going to be going away. So Joe's got he's got a tall order of defending James for another 4.5 minutes. Tell you what, hats off if you can do it. Come on, Joe, you can do it. We believe in you. Delaney just looks to hold on to him here. He's going to have... Oh, he's overslowed it, but there goes Joe. He's gone into the fence. That's disappointing for Joe. He's going to have to wait for some cars there to come through, because the whole field's starting to stream through that part of the track. Excuse me. Feel for Joe. He had... and now he's dropped back to 14th. That just shows how close this field is. You have one spin from the front of the field and you'll find yourself very much at the back of it. Mello now making progress on Ryan Kennedy. 3.5 minutes to go on this race. Everyone be watching the timer. None more so than Mr. Kennedy here is probably going to have to try and hold on to the last couple of laps of this race to try and finish the race in 3rd. He's actually a 10th quicker than Mello on that last lap. So they're both pushing hard. There's no doubt about that. If there's any more battles here, we've got Delaney's now made his way up behind Dave O'Shan. Dave O'Shan. He's had a great run through the first turn, coming up to turn 2 and 3. Both bashing over the curbs. James has been particularly good out of this turn 4. As you can see, the mid-corner speed difference there between the two cars. Very good mid-corner pace and exit speed. So he's going to have a pretty good run at Davo up the hill here. He's pulled out the slipstream early to try and get the inside line, which he has done, and a fair amount of overlap too. So Davo just trying to... I think Delaney saw him coming there and just sort of got out of the power a little bit and just let him come across. Wise driving from Delaney there. We've seen a terrible accident at the top of that hill from just a bit too much bumping and grinding and cars getting off balance. Daniel says no. Sorry, James. Let's call him Daniel. Delaney says, you know what? I'll just bide my time and get you on a different part of the track, perhaps the final turn. And as you can see, he's done that now. Might have to go defensive because Davo will pick up the slipstream, and I think from what we've seen from Davo, he's not scared to have another crack. So he's going to definitely brake late, but has to concede the turn. So that's a textbook pass there from James Delaney as he moves his way up into 5th. Sick. Anyway, Cooper Shipley now has made the opportunistic move on Ollie Longley as he takes a little bit of an excursion wide at turn 1. Daniel Walsh is going to try and do his best to do the same, but what's happened is he's ended up crashing into Longley, so these guys are getting right into it at the latter stages of this race. A fair bit of paint swapping, which I'm all for. I'm not going to encourage dirty driving, but as long as it's within reason. As Lockie's going to have terrible flashbacks of going too wide up around turn 5 here. I don't think it's turn 5, it's turn 8, isn't it? I don't know. Turn 6? I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, Lockie Grant trying to do his best to hold off Josh Hughes. This could be the second last lap. I might have one more. We'll find out. I still don't know. Yeah, it is a timed race. So it all depends on when the leader crosses the line. So I think he has crossed the line, so this will be the last lap, I believe. Yeah. Okay, we're on the final lap now. Cicluna leads by an absolute margin to Reggie Righteous. Kennedy's been catching up, but I don't think there'll be enough there for him. Nick Mello had some unfortunate issues at the start of that race. James Delaney in 5th. Shan, Grant and Hughes has just dropped off the back of Lockie Grant. So there won't be any more 2 wides going on in that part of the track. Walsh, Longley, Belton, Gillespie, Newing, and Duff has decided to park it for the evening. But our race 3 winner is Daniel Cicluna. He's made his way from the back of the pack. Great racing. He gives the camera a bit of a flash. And congratulations to Daniel for winning that race. Reggie Righteous gets his podium. Good racing from these guys. Kennedy, brilliant drive across all 3 races. Awesome racecraft. Avoided all the incidents. Mello showed some great pace too. Deserved his finishing up the top of the order there. Delaney come through strong as a last minute entry. I don't think he'd ever driven these cars before, so credit to him. Dave O'Shan, second time running with us, and all top 6 finishes, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but great racing from him. Lockie Grant 7th. Josh Hughes, oh guys, we'll try to it's probably not the best to run into people after the line, just because there's a lot of direct drive wheels out there, and can actually cause big injuries. I saw a video the other day of a guy It's like pretty much broke his hand. We've got a car going backwards down the infield there on the course proper, as it is known in racing terms. Cooper Shipley crosses the line in 9th, Daniel Walsh in 10th, Ollie Longley 11th, Matt Belton 12th, Joe Gillespie 13th, and Luke Newing 14th. Duff, Smith and Wells were the DNFs of that round. So that's all we have time for. Yes, I do. I do need a COVID test. I bet you I've got it.
For God's sake.
Do
you not bloody have it again?
I do. Anyway, that brings up that finishes up the racing for tonight. It was a bloody entertaining watch, that's for sure. And I'm going to have to go and apologise to a few of the guys for leaving my car out on the track yet again. I will learn one day, possibly not next week, but maybe the week after. We can look forward to that. Coming up this Sunday is our V8 Supercar Series as they head to the international circuit, Interlagos, for a couple of 30 lappers, so that'll be good fun. And then next week we'll be back here, same bat time, same bat channel, for a bit of Wednesday Cup action. We'll be at Spielberg Red Bull Ring on the little the southern circuit there, so I think it's just half the circuit cut across to the other side. So that should bring some good racing, especially if we can get another 20 cars on the grid like we did tonight. But I'm going to go now before my voice completely shits itself. Thank you everyone for watching, and have a good